All right, let's stir the pot a little. If you had $1,000 right now, would you buy silver or would you buy copper? Because I'm seeing people say copper is the future, and I'm seeing others say silver is the only real money. Both metals are being called critical minerals. Both are tied to the future, but they are not the same play. And if you don't understand the difference, you could be stacking the wrong metal for your goals. What's going on, everybody? Thompson Coin and Stamp here, and today we're going to do a video about some of my favorite metals. That's silver, and that is copper. So we're going to get into this. Hopefully, it doesn't stir up too much of the pot, too much, but we've got to have a little bit of a debate. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I want to give a shout out to our fellow Oklahoma channels. Ravenhawk Coin, Silver Stacker, Cracker, and the Sober Stacker. Go check out each and every one of them. But now let's get into the argument. First, we're going to talk about silver. Silver, it's a monetary metal and it is an industrial hybrid. Silver is a precious metal. Like I said, it is a monetary metal. It's been used as a monetary metal for thousands and thousands of years. It is an industrial metal. There's so many different applications for silver right now. You've got, electrical vehicles, AI, the solar panels, the list just goes on and on. Another great thing about silver is that it's deeply liquid. It is real easy to buy and sell silver. You can get on Reddit, Facebook, your local coin shop, a pawn shop. People know about silver. And silver is also globally traded on exchanges like COMEX, Shanghai Exchange, and the London Bullion Metal Association, the LBMA. It has thousands of years as history of history as money. But it's also critical to, like I said, to solar panels, electronics. You've got medical applications, defense tech. On medical applications, silver, it's antibacterial, antimicrobial. You can use it to purify water. There's so many different applications. And when silver moves, it's when fear moves. You've got inflation. You've got currency instability. The dollar is just losing more and more of its buying power each and every year. And that causes financial stress. And silver reacts to that. Now let's move on to this beautiful metal, copper. Copper is everywhere. It's also in electric vehicles. It's also in the power grid, in AI data centers, in construction, in military equipment. And yes, copper has been identified by the US as a critical mineral because of supply risk and strategic importance. Silver is increasingly viewed the same way because of its tech and solar demand. And that matters because it means both metals are tied to the future. But here's where the split happens. Silver responds to financial stress. Copper responds to economic growth. Those are not the same thing. If the economy slows, copper can struggle. If the financial system shakes, silver often wakes up. You have different drivers, you have different risk, you have different upside profiles. So, could copper explode higher? Let's be fair. If, say, the grid upgrades accelerate, electric vehicle production expands aggressively, AI infrastructure keeps scaling up, supply deficits continue, copper could absolutely have the potential to rise significantly. And it's because its price per pound, even a few dollar move can be substantial. But here's the part where people skip over. Retail copper bullion often carries higher premiums relative to melt than silver does. Now, that doesn't make it bad. It just means you need to understand what you're buying. Are you buying exposure to copper price? Or are you paying heavily for fabrication and convenience? That's the real question. Okay, now we're going to move on to the do it yourself argument. Some people melt scrap copper. They have a source for wire, for scrap, for all sorts of different things. They buy the furnaces. They pour their own bars. They take the time to go through all of that. And like I said, that does take time. That takes equipment. That takes electricity. That takes numerous safety precautions. Whether you're scrapping the copper or you're melting it down, you've got to have a lot of different personal protective pieces of equipment, gloves, are a big thing, whether you're grabbing the copper or melting it down, keep it from getting cut or burned, safety glasses. There's all sorts of different things. And some people love it. It sounds really cool. And personally, I would love to melt my own bars. That seems like a really, really neat thing. But others don't have the time, they don't have the source, or they don't have the desire to do that. So that is why they pay for finished pieces like these. There's nothing wrong with that. They just understand the math. They're willing to pay a premium for a finished product. So, if I'm worried about the dollar losing purchasing power, I'm going to lean more towards silver. But if I'm positioning myself for electrification and infrastructure expansion, copper becomes a little more interesting. Now, I don't pretend they serve the same purpose because they don't. Silver is money, and it's part of the industry. Silver is pure industry. One reacts to fear, one reacts to growth. So you pick your driver. And I just want to be clear, I am not here to tell you what to buy. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dad that hunts coins and stacks some metals with his kids and posts videos here on YouTube. But I am here to make sure you know why you're buying it. I'm trying to do informational videos. So tell me, are you stacking silver? Are you stacking copper? Are you stacking both? I really want to know. And if you disagree with me, I want to hear about it. That's where the best conversations happen. So drop it in the comments. I always reply to as many comments as I can. Just keep it clean and professional, everybody. This is a family channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Make sure you follow us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly corn roll hunt and chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and check out all of our other videos. We've got our channel memberships open and running. There's all sorts of behind the scenes stuff that you can't get anywhere else. I really do hope you appreciate this video. Like I said, go check out some of our fellow Oklahoma channels, Silver Stacker, Cracker, Raven Hawk Coins, and the Sober Stacker. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a blessed evening. Until next time, Thompson Coin and Stamp is out.